Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to come on here today and talk about shipping internationally. I have been in business since 2019, and at first my business started off really slow, but it has definitely picked up, and now we get orders from all over the world. And today I process and shipped a package from Norway. Here it is right here. And so I can actually show you the front of this package. It really doesn't matter because with this particular package, it's going to go to an export processing facility first before it goes on its journey to Norway. And so they're going to process this. They're going to make sure that I have the right tariff numbers and everything on there. And so I get a lot of questions about what do you need to know when you ship internationally? How do you ship internationally? Are the shipping rates higher? And just so many questions. So, I'm going to share some tips that you need to know when it comes to shipping your packages to your customers internationally. But before I get into that, how did I get these international orders? Well, because I've been in business for so long and I've been consistent with my business has become organic. And so I have two different self defense businesses. The first one is Self Shield USA, and the second one is Pretty Defense. I really should have switched those around because I started Pretty Defense first. And when I started Pretty Defense, a ton of people asked me, how did you start this business? How can I get started in this business? That's when I started Self Shield USA. Now, Pretty Defense is my consumer products only self defense business. I only ship like one or two items to customers. And so when people started asking me, how did you start this business? I said, okay, well, I will start my own wholesale distribution of self-defense products. So that's how I did that. So I won't get into that. I want to make sure that I stay on topic and talk about what you need to know when it comes to shipping internationally. If you want me to do videos about that, please drop it in the comments what you want to know more about each business. So one of the things you need to know is that you want to make sure that you're using correct packaging. This packaging that I'm using is a bubble mailer. The size is 6 by 10. And so you can't see through it or anything like that, okay? But you want to make sure you're using good packaging because your products are going a long distance. So you want to make sure that you're using something that's sturdy and that can support what you are shipping, okay? And you want to make sure, of course, you label it correctly. You want to decide on the method of transportation. So when I ship my international products, I am either using USPS or I'm using UPS. I haven't gotten to FedEx or anything like that yet when it comes to shipping any of my packages, but those are the two that I usually use. You want to make sure that you have a shipping system. So when I first started my business, I would go to USPS with these orders. I would be writing out labels and everything, but since I've grown, I now have a shipping system. I have shipping software. I have a shipping label maker. I have a scale and everything. So then that way I can really streamline how I do all of my orders, whether it's domestic or internationally. So that's going to be really important when you're shipping products. And this product is going through USPS, as you can see. Also, another tip, you want to know your shipping restrictions. There are some countries you cannot ship certain products at, and you definitely don't want your business to be flagged for shipping products to places that you can't ship products to. So because I do ship self-defense products, I'm not able to ship a lot of my products internationally. However, this person purchased a rock safe. What is a rock safe? If you want to know what a rock safe is, just visit my website and or put it in the comments what a rock safe is, and I will do a video on not only my rock safe but my other discrete safes. They're called diversion safes because they look like normal products, but they are safes. And so a lot of times people won't even pay them any attention because they won't even think that you are storing secretly something inside of the safe. So this person ordered a rock safe, and so I am able to ship that because it's not a weapon, it's not anything flammable that's being shipped or anything like that. Another thing you need to know when you are shipping internationally is that you're going to have longer shipping times, okay? So when you're shipping domestically, of course, the product gets to the person, your customer, within like 2 to 5 days. And overnight shipping over internationally is really, really difficult to do. So you want to expect longer delivery times. Another thing is you want to be aware of scammers. I have this one, I'm not even going to call them a customer because they're not a customer, but they are constantly going on my website ordering things. And I have an option because I'm going to be honest, some people don't want to use their credit card on websites because of scams and different things like that. So I have some customers that pay with Cash App. And I offer unique payment options other than just credit card because I want to make sure that I'm able to help keep people safe no matter if they have a credit card or don't have a credit card. So I do take Cash App, I take Zelle and different things like that. But you just want to make sure that you're aware of scams because scammers are really they're tricky and they're really unique with how they scam people. So you want to make sure that you're aware of that. Oh, one of the biggest things is the custom fees and tariffs. Now, with international shipments, customs can charge a fee. And so that's something that you want to make sure that you keep in mind when you're shipping products, especially before you ship the products. And so a lot of times when I'm shipping my international products, I'm making sure that I'm looking to see those fees. And sometimes the customers pay those fees in front. And the more valuable the item is, the higher the fee. Now, as I said before that, I also discussed tariffs. You want to make sure you're calculating the tariffs, you're putting the tariff number on a package. And so for this particular package right here, I did have to add a tariff number. And so I want to say the tariff number was like, it's 6 digits, number one. And you can look them up online depending on if you have software or if you're just starting off and you don't have really a budget to pay extra for software. You want to make sure that you know the tariff number and you're putting it on there. Let me see. So this one does have the tariff number on there. And so when they get the product and they see the shipping label and everything, they'll know the tariff. And so this was, I put it as a jewelry box because it can be used as a jewelry box. It can be used as a key holder. It can be used any way that it wants to be used. But the shipping company themselves, they are the ones that charge the tariff fee. And so the fees do depend on the company that you're using. Again, you may be someone that's starting off new. You're just going into the post office to ship your orders. But if you're shipping from an office like me, the systems that I use make it really easy for me to find the tariff numbers and everything. So I don't really have to worry about that. But if you're new, you want to make sure that you're researching the tariff numbers to make sure that you're putting out the correct information. And sometimes another tip when I'm shipping internationally, I have to fill out an additional form. And so it really depends on the product and the company that you're using when you ship, because I also have an Etsy channel as well. And so the extra forms really just kind of depends on the country you're shipping to. I know like when I ship to Canada, they want a lot of information on the form. So you want to make sure that you have everything filled out when it comes to these forms. And again, be careful what you're shipping because the items can be confiscated if you're not shipping right products or you're not shipping out the forms correctly. And so again, just to kind of summarize the tips that I stated, you want to make sure that you're filling out the additional forms. You want to make sure that you're calculating the tariffs. You're putting the correct tariff number on there. You want to remember your custom fees. Again, a lot of times the customers will pay those custom fees. You want to be aware of scams. You want to understand customs regulations, what you can ship, what you cannot ship, and your shipping restrictions. You want to make sure, oh, I didn't mention this. You want to make sure that you're using shipping insurance as well. I put shipping insurance on all of my products. You want to make sure that you understand the method of transportation because some methods are cheaper than others. So I do love to compare prices. How much is it to ship UPS versus USPS, and then you want to make sure you're using the correct packaging. So I hope that this answered a lot of your questions when it comes to shipping international packages. If you have any other questions or you want me to explain more, just drop it in the comment section. And please, y'all, I'm growing my YouTube. Please subscribe to my page. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you and have a wonderful day.